today, check my tire pressure. These cute little valve stem caps that I bought and put on my car welded themselves to the threads on my valve stem. So I had to spend about 20 minutes with a file cutting through these things. That's blue anodized aluminum on the inside, the threaded part. All right, that's a problem because when you put this on your valve stem and then you introduce salt, as happens in the winter when your roads get salted, there's a reaction between these two metals that pretty much welds them together. Only way to get them off is with a grinder or a file. I happen to have a file. I'm going to be replacing all of these with these cutesy ones. I like the cutesy ones, but these have plastic inside, see? The part that actually comes in contact with the valve stem is plastic. So it's not going to weld itself to the threads. The next thing I want to show you is, once I was able to check my tire pressure, I find out that this tire has 15 pounds of pressure in it. The reason it has 15 pounds of pressure is it has a nail in it. So I'm going to show you how to plug a nail hole. It's not hard. It's going to save you a lot of money. So the first thing we've got to do is actually find the nail. I got looking around and I just happened to luckily notice that that right there, can you see that dot? That's a nail. Look familiar? There it is. You hear it? It's actually a little tiny sheet metal screw. You can actually hear it. Step number 2 is to take this. This is a rasp for doing this job, for working on tires. Put that in the hole and go ahead and punch it through. What this is going to do is make this hole big enough for the plug we're about to put in, because it's really not. I'm going to leave that in there while I get my plug ready. These are the plugs, and this is the plug tool. These are cheap ones. You can buy fancy, expensive ones, but why bother? So we pull one of these plugs out of this pack, and they're covered with this sticky goo. Sometimes they come with a tube of glue sealant. See how that works? It's like a big sewing needle with a slot cut in it. We just pull that through until it's about halfway like that. And what we're gonna do is shove this in that hole, and it's gonna plug, hopefully. And there it is. And the last piece of this puzzle is this little cheese ball air compressor. I have a great big air compressor that I could use for this, but I want to show you guys that it's going to take about 150 years for that little tiny air compressor to pump that tire up. But that's okay. If you were stranded beside the road, you'd be glad to have that little sucker. And it's tiny, it's easy to store away. So remember, go out and check your car, make sure it doesn't have these terrible valve caps on it like I put on mine. Terrible idea. Get yourself a plug kit and have the confidence that you can use this. This is not terribly difficult. It's not complicated. So while I didn't go over all of this in my original toolkit video, this is a little separate bag that I keep in my car, especially on a long road trip. You're never going to regret that you were too prepared for a disaster when you're out on the road. Until next week, this is Clint Searcy saying, like and subscribe. So pretty.